Hi, it's Delia and we are at the shelter from Care for Dogs in Romania, in Brașov. We've recently been to a high-kill shelter around Brașov and I wanted to share with you how and what it's like to be a stray dog and then a shelter dog in a high-kill shelter in Romania. Please, if you want to adopt a dog, please, from the bottom of my heart, come first to Codlea, come first and take a dog from here, because you would be literally saving their lives. They get put to sleep here in 14 days if they are not adopted.
Hei, ce faceți mic? Ia iubirile, vină încoace, vină încoace. Ioi, drăgălăjenile, ce fac drăgălăjenile mici, ce fac drăgălăjenile. Și tu, mami, acolo în spate. Dragoste, dragoste. Zuzi, Zuki, ia dragostea mea, ce face dragostea mea? Ioi, mama, țuculu, mami, vină încoace, mama. Haide, nu-ți fie frică, iubire. Nu-ți fie frică, iubire. Dragoste.
Oh my God, it's freezing. My hands are trembling, as you can probably see, but it's just because it's practically -5 here.
Ioi, mama, ce face Berline? Ce faci, dragoste?
So everybody who is from Romania, please, again and again, come and adopt. This dog was abandoned by the owner because they said they didn't have what to do with her, and she's fully vaccinated and castrated and she can leave anytime. So just come and adopt. There are so many dogs that are wonderful and are waiting to get adopted here. I'm very emotional because going to a killing station is never easy when you go inside and you see 120 dogs and they are all social and they all want to come at you and they all are wagging their tails and they're all thinking that you are their rescuer and that you are going to take them out of there and you only have room to take around 20 or 30, your heart breaks. It's impossible not to have feelings of regret and that what you're doing isn't enough when you know that you're probably gonna save 10 or 20% and the rest are gonna stay there and are gonna probably die because so few people go and adopt from there. So few people understand that there's a real problem with shelter dogs in Romania. So few people want to even take a chance on a rescue dog because there are so many misconcepted ideas about what a shelter dog can do. And we've talked about shelter dogs in a video last week. If you want, you can check it in the description. Shelter dogs and stray dogs and dogs that you buy from a breeder, they have one thing in common, and that's they are dogs. They are wagging their tail in the same way, they understand happiness and have the same feelings as anybody else on the planet, as any sentient being on the planet. So when you're adopting a shelter dog, you're actually saving their lives and you're actually saving a little bit of your life too, because you are giving them a chance to flourish, to develop, to regain their confidence in you and in people in general. And the bond you will eventually have is nothing that can be compared to. There isn't anything that I can say that will explain the feeling of accomplishment that you have when you finally see that the dog that you've rescued is taking steps into rehabilitation and is becoming more social and trusting, and you get the feeling that you actually have done something good in your life. You know, there's a Romanian saying that says that if you haven't planted a tree and built a house and made a child, you've lived on this planet for nothing. I would also complete this saying with, if you haven't rescued a life or if you haven't fed the ones that need it the most, then you've lived your life for nothing. So I want to tell you the story of a normal stray dog. Since they're born, they endure all the harshness that Romania can give. Remember that we live in a country where in summertime we have plus 35 degrees and in wintertime we have minus 25. We also live in the mountains, which makes these differences in temperature even harder. For example, right now it's minus 5 degrees outside. It's wintertime, it's 10 January, and in Saturday we're gonna have minus 16. this is just how it is. Now imagine that you are born from a litter, from a mother that has been giving birth to puppies all her life. You're born in a cave or a place where she had dug to give birth to you, and then you're just, you know, you don't know what's happening. You only know the warmth and the safety of your mother. Your mother runs around every single day and searches for food in the garbage, and she rarely finds something that she can eat so that she has enough milk to produce to feed you. And then you grow. Days pass by, weeks pass by, you start to see, you start to hear, you start to move, you start to understand how this life is working. And you know, you're happy. 2 months old, you're wagging your tail, you're coming out, you're walking, you're curious, your teeth are now out. Your mother doesn't really like it when you suck on her nipple anymore, so she tries to run away. She brings you some food sometimes, you eat it. You start to get the hang of the feeling of hunger. And you start to understand slowly but surely that your mother is never gonna be all your life with you, that at some point she will definitely leave, and when she does, you will have to make way for yourself. You will have to find for yourself food and everything else. So you grow, and then your mother eventually leaves, and then you're alone with your brothers who, like you, have no idea what's going on, and you start to search for food, and you start to move around, and then you maybe start to see your brothers, some of them getting adopted from people, some of them get hit by a car and they die right in front of you. You never know. You just live every single day with the idea that maybe something good is gonna happen, because you were born a good boy, you are a good boy, and you will continue to be a good boy. When you meet people, you're always wagging your tail. You're going to them waggy tail and happy and with those big goo eyes begging for some food. And some people give you food. Some people stop for a moment, they caress you on your head, they say, oh, you're a good boy, and then they give you something to eat, and then you're very grateful for that food because it's the food that maybe you haven't eaten in the last couple of days. And then sometimes you go the same with your waggy tail, with your big goo eyes, and then you meet people who just hit you really bad, or who throw stones after you, or who just tell you to shoo because you are dirty and filthy and you have fleas. But you continue to think that you're a good boy, and you continue to have hope that eventually somebody is gonna rescue you. And then one day you're searching the garbage and you find some food, you eat. You're now a little bit grown up. You're now maybe 1 year old. You have successfully endured 1 year in Romania. You've endured the cold winters when you barely find a place warm to stay, and you've endured the hard summer when you barely could find something to drink. But here you are, you see somebody coming from the back, and then you feel a pain in your left leg, and you don't know what it is. You turn around, you see there's a huge thing coming out of your leg that you've never seen before. You start to panic, you want to run, you don't understand what's going on, and then eventually it hits you that you don't feel your legs anymore, and then you don't feel your body anymore, and you just collapse. You're in a blackout, you don't know what's going on. You wake up after a few hours and you're in a place. It's a place where the floor is full of concrete, it's cold, it's dark, there are so many dogs around you and they're all howling and barking and begging for help. You're just getting up from your anesthesia because the dog catchers have just caught you and they've just injected you with a dose of anesthetic that put you to sleep. And while you're waking up, you don't understand what's going on, and again you think to yourself, why am I here? Why is this happening? I've been a good boy. I've always been a good boy. I will continue to be a good boy. Days go by in this place. You start to understand that this is not a good place. You see a lot of dogs inside your kennel. You don't understand what's going on with them. Some of them want to bite you. Some of them fight you for the little drops of food that you always get. Some of them are just so shut down and so blocked, they don't even want to get up anymore. They don't even want to eat anymore. They have just abandoned the will to live because they know that after 14 days you are going to get put to sleep. Days come by, some people come into this shelter, they run past your kennel, you're always there to greet them, you're always going towards them, you're thinking I'm a good boy, you're wagging your tail, but these people don't adopt you and they move on. And then other people come and then you're going the same and then you're wagging your tail and then you're thinking I'm a good boy, I don't deserve to be here, I should be somewhere else, I'm a good boy, why am I here, please adopt me. You're saying this with your body language, with your heart, with your ears, with your face, with your eyes, but nobody is listening. You soon understand that this is a prison for innocent souls. This is a public shelter. This is a killing station. This is a place where dogs go in and very few come out. And you don't know what have you done to be here. Why are you here? Why isn't somebody coming to rescue you? You start to bark, you start to pound, you start to go around in circles. You're doing your best to draw attention so that people finally see you and take you out of there because you just want to be whatever you've been all your life, to be a good boy, an innocent soul who was born in a country where nobody gives a shit, and you just want to be there for your family and love them and care for them and show them that they can trust you because there's no difference between a shelter dog and a breed dog. Eventually, there's hope. Someone called a dog rescuer comes, sees you, and takes you out of there. You move in that point from a shelter where the feeling is of death and of insecurity. You move to a place where you find hope, where the people greet you with kindness, where you can jump on them and they're always happy to receive you, and they cuddle you and they take you into their arms and they deworm and deflea you and they treat all your wounds and they give you the medicine that you need and they vaccinate you, and now your body doesn't even hurt that much anymore, and now you receive food every single day and you have a shelter over your head and you think, this is it, I'm finally with the people that love me, I'm finally safe, I'm finally free, I don't have to worry about anything anymore. These people are dog rescuers. They are like me, like my colleagues from Care for Dogs. They are the ones that never look away. They are the ones that take dogs from the streets or take dogs from high kill shelters because we know that we are their last resort. Imagine having a life like that. Imagine being on the cold concrete in the shelter, not knowing what's gonna happen. Imagine the powerlessness. Imagine the feeling that you get that you know that there's no way you can escape from there, and the feeling that you would just go insane because there's nothing you can do. And you know that you've been a good boy all your life or a good girl all your life, but nobody noticed because people just don't care. Today I've been to a high kill shelter where we went to take pictures of some dogs and we want to take out a lot of oldies. There were around 100 and 120 dogs there. Of course, we don't have room to take every single one because it's just, we have 250 dogs in our care and we just cannot take every single one, but we might have space for 20-30 dogs. And the reason I'm making this video is that I want to raise awareness. I want people to understand that there's no reason why you shouldn't adopt a shelter dog. We have so many dogs that have been rescued from shelters and that have been rescued from street, and we gave them up for adoption. It's like a new life for them, you know? You don't have to think of dogs as humans because dogs are so way better than humans. They always give a second chance and they take advantage of all the chances that they get. If they have now a chance to be happy, they will be happy. They live in the present and they are grateful for being rescued. People aren't. People are gonna be happy when they help you, and when you need their help, they're just gonna turn their back on you. Some people not, of course, your best friends, the people who you know since you were a child. Not everybody's like this, but I'm talking in general, people will let you down more often than a dog will let you down. A dog will always be there for you. A dog will be forever grateful. And trust me when I say that a dog knows when they have been rescued, and they are forever grateful to the person who has given them the warmth and the respect and the care that they deserve. So this video is for everybody who ever wants to adopt a dog. This video is from somebody who thinks that shelter dogs are broken. No, they're not broken. They might be a bit lost, but with the help and the guidance from you, they can become the dogs that they were meant to be. Whenever you want to take a dog, please go to a shelter and please pick a dog. If you go to a shelter and you look through all the dogs and then you cannot find a dog that is for you, then you are not supposed to have a dog. Because having a dog is not having a breed. Having a dog is having light and happiness and a waggy tail, always happy to welcome you home. Somebody that is never gonna judge you, that is never gonna think bad about you, that is always gonna look at you with a happy face and with goo-goo eyes, and that is gonna think that you are the best thing in their lives. So if you want to adopt a dog, just adopt a dog. A shelter dog is gonna look at you the same way as I described earlier. They are gonna think that you're the best thing that ever happened to in their lives. And if you're lucky enough and you have an open heart, you are gonna think the same. So adopt, don't shop. This is my message. And my message is adopt always from high kill shelters. Be a good person and go to your local shelter and volunteer and do the best that you can. If you cannot volunteer, you can foster. If you cannot foster, you can adopt. If you cannot adopt, then donate. If you cannot donate, then just spread the word and do something about it. Because this problem was created by us and people that created the problem. It's up to people to solve the problem.